Have you heard any time about a river in the sky? Yes, you heard it right. I'm talking today about river in the sky, which is also called as atmospheric river. So we all know rivers normally happen on the land, or they take part of the terrestrial ecosystem. But in case if you have a river or the river stream type of thing which is causing abundant rainfall and which is creating some havoc, then it is very interesting to know about them, right? That is why we are going to discuss about atmospheric rivers which are causing a lot of flooding and damage in California of United States of America. So let's understand what is this phenomenon of atmospheric river, how it is important and how it is formed, and do India have any history of these atmospheric rivers? If any, we'll know about them, and what is the reason behind these. And also there is an interesting term we'll know, that is Pineapple Express. So what is this Pineapple Express? We'll know in this video. Stay tuned till the end. Okay. So here we are going to discuss about atmospheric river. Okay. Yes, atmospheric river is not a typical river which is occurring in the atmosphere, but it appears like a river. Okay. So which causes rainfall. So what is the reason behind this is interesting to know. Okay. So for example, if you know, normally the source of rainfall is mainly the evaporation, right? Because you know, we have only source of energy on the earth, that is sun. Okay. So because of sun's energy, whatever the water that is generated on the earth, okay, that is getting evaporated, and that evaporation again, because the warm air rises up, that is what you know, the basic fact, right? Warm air rises up, and it after going to a certain height, it condenses and then it forms a cloud. So cloud is nothing but again a combination of water vapor, dust particles and all. Okay. So this condensed clouds, okay, so when they're moving at a very high speed due to some other factors, okay, what are those factors we'll know in a while. So due to some factors, if they're moving very densely and they're moving very sharply and fastly, so which is creating a lot of rainfall in some parts of the United States. That is right now California is experiencing a lot of flooding. Okay. So we'll understand this phenomenon with the help of this diagram. See, initially, you know, here we have Pacific Ocean, right? So when we have Pacific Ocean in this part, so here we have Pacific Ocean, you know, Pacific Ocean water also, because it is very near. Okay. So you have tropical area near in the Pacific Ocean. So intense insolation will happen. Because of this water in the Pacific Ocean will rise up. Okay. So it will warm up. Eventually this water will rise up. So when it rises up after a certain height, it will cool down again and it will condense to form water vapor. Okay. So when this water vapor is there, so what happens is, so this water vapor in the atmosphere, it will move like a band. Okay. So due to some factors like Earth's rotation or some cyclones that happen in the atmosphere, so due to those external factors in the atmosphere, this water vapor band, you can say this is nothing but atmospheric river. This band, which is of some width of almost 600 to 400 miles of width, will be there. So these bands move in the atmosphere with a high speed. So then if they're moving, okay, suddenly they will come, if they come across any mountain type of thing, or if they come onto the land, okay, so then what happens, you know, normally in case of any rainfall, we know some types of rainfall, right? The basic types of rainfall we have is convective rainfall, orographic rainfall, and we have monsoonal rainfall or local type of rainfall. Okay, these are the basic types we have. So convection rainfall means in the equatorial areas because of intense heating. Okay, so this will rain, the rain will happen every day in the afternoon session, okay, or in the evening session. This is called, we call convective rainfall. This is most common in tropical areas or equatorial areas. Then coming to orographic rainfall, you know, normally in case if there is a what you can say, there is a air or wind which is carrying the moisture, and if it come across a mountain, then it is forced to lift up, right? Okay, so it has to lift up to cross this mountain. So as this warm air which is carrying the moisture is rising up, okay, so when it is reaching it to a higher distance, then what happens, this warm air becomes cool. So when it cools, what happens? It will try to shed out all the moisture. So at this point of time, when it is coming down, it will try to shed all its moisture. So it will try to shed its moisture in the form of rain. So this part of the mountain, okay, so this is in the rain. Okay, this is receiving the rain, and this part of the mountain you call rain shadow region or leeward side of the mountain. Okay, so this is the most common thing in Western Ghats also we observe, right? That is why the parts of Karnataka state like Bangalore, Mysore, these don't receive rainfall from the southwest monsoon because they are on the southern, sorry, you can say leeward side or rain shadow side of the Western Ghats. Okay, so you can say this side only it receives rainfall. The same thing is happening even here also, you can understand. So when it is coming across, this is a mountain range in United States. Okay, this is called Sierra Nevada. So this mountain range, when it is coming across this air band, moisture air band, so this is when this is coming across, this is forced to lift up when they come across this mountain range. So when it is coming across, so again the same thing happens like an orographic rainfall. So this cool dense band of water vapor or moisture, it has to raise up, and it is causing on the other side of the mountain, it will shed all the moisture and it will result in heavy rain or snow. This phenomenon is nothing but atmospheric river. Okay, this is not a typical river which have water in it or something, but because of the clouds or dense cloud, or you can say condensed moisture or water vapor, which is like a band, so it appears like a band, so that is why we name it as atmospheric river. This concept was discovered in 1990s only. And this is not a global phenomenon. Okay, so this is not a unique phenomenon, but it is a global phenomenon. It happens over Atlantic Ocean, in parts of Antarctica, Greenland, in western USA, especially on the coast of California. Almost 50 to 70% of the rainfall will come from such phenomena of atmospheric rivers only. So we'll know more things about this in the while. You can understand from this. So what are we going to discuss? What is this atmospheric river, why it is in use, and what is the concept, and we'll know how it forms and where the areas of occurrence of atmospheric river can be seen, and you can see what is the impact of atmospheric river. So what are the positives and negatives, and what is the importance of this particular phenomenon, and how this global climate change which is happening is impacting this phenomenon of atmospheric rivers, and also we'll see the conclusion of this particular video. Okay, so we'll discuss. And you know, this forms part of GS1 under geophysical phenomenon under geography. Okay, so this is world geography and climatology related topic. Please concentrate on this. So you can see why it is in use. As I told you, Southern California in US is experiencing flooding. Okay, so almost every year, not this year only, last year also in the month of January, previously in the month of 2022 January also, consecutively we have this flooding that is noticed in the parts of Los Angeles and California, which is on the western coast of USA. Let's see. Okay, so it was inundated. So because of one phenomenon, that is this atmospheric river. Before that, as I told you, we are going to study about an interesting term, that is Pineapple Express. Okay, so what is it Pineapple Express mean? So you know, Pineapple Express. Okay, express means a swift wind, or you can say a band of wind which is moving very fast. So what is causing that fastness is because of sun's rotation, you can say, because of the increase in temperature. So when increase in temperature is that will result in more evaporation. More evaporation will create more moisture content. So when more moisture content is there will be a dense band of clouds. So this you can, that appears like a express, you can say. Okay, so that appears like express, and why it is named as pineapple is because this phenomenon or this movement of clouds, okay, so this is observed from Hawaiian Islands. You know, Hawaiian Islands so belongs to USA, and Hawaiian Islands are of volcanic origins, you know. Okay, so they start from Hawaiian Islands and they move to the coast of California. So Hawaiian Islands are famous for pine trees. As they move from Hawaiian Islands to California, that is why they named this as Pineapple Express. Okay, so as they move over pine trees which are famous over Hawaiian Islands, this phenomenon is called Pineapple Express. So you can see they move from tropics near Hawaii and they move to the west coast of USA, which includes California. So this is nothing but a type of atmospheric river only, but localized name you can say that as Pineapple Express. Okay, so which is resulting in extreme rainfall and excessive flooding and also property damage in the parts of western USA, you can say. Then what is atmospheric river? As I told you, it is nothing but narrow region which is carrying large amounts of water vapor to the rivers in the sky. Okay, there won't be typical rivers, but these clouds, okay, so which are forming very fastly and intensely, these appears to be like a band of river. Okay, so river means, you know, there will be fixed flow of water, right? So the same way, because of intense evaporation, when there is more heat generated and that will result in more evaporation, dense clouds will form and that band of clouds will appear like a river in the atmosphere. That is why we name this phenomenon as atmospheric river. So it usually causes heavy precipitation and rainfall when it happens over a region. Okay, so when it touches the land region, and in that that land region, if there is a mountain range, as in this example we have seen Sierra Nevada, so that is a mountain region in USA. So when it is forced to lift up, okay, so on the other side you have California and Los Angeles, these cities are there, so there they are forced to shed down their moisture, that is causing this flooding and intense rainfall. Then what is this formation of atmospheric river? So you can see these are nothing but they form over tropical regions, because you know tropical regions are the source of intense heat. So from tropical areas they shift towards temperate regions or mid-latitudinal regions, you know, right? So here you have tropical region, okay? So you know this is the area where you have trade winds, okay? In the northern hemisphere you have northeast trade winds, and in the southern hemisphere you have southeast trade winds. And you know, interestingly, in Indian case, this southeast trade winds only they deflect, and you know, because of Coriolis force they turn to right side and they enter Indian subcontinent as southwest monsoon. That is what causing rainfall in India, monsoon rainfall, the same southeast trade winds, okay? So you know, southeast and northeast trade winds converge at a zone in the equator that is called intertropical convergence zone, ITCZ. You have, this is a zone of low pressure, you know, okay? So you know, normally from high pressure to low pressure air moves or the wind moves, okay? So you know, in a low pressure area is mostly responsible for causing of rainfall because of intense heating and all. So in this zone of ITCZ, because of deflection, what happens is these are deflected towards the side of western coast of USA, okay? So from the tropical region to temperate region or mid-latitudinal region, from here they'll be moving towards this region, okay, till 45 to 60 degree latitude, till there they will be moving this band of cloud based winds, okay? So strong winds carry the water vapor through the atmosphere. As atmosphere river moves over the land, the water vapor rises up, you know, okay? So the basic orographic rainfall, as I told you, it has to rise up, cools down and into the water vapor. Whenever it is rising up, okay, so it becomes cool, so it has to shed down all the moisture and it causes intense precipitation on the other side of the mountain or the hill range. That is what causing this atmospheric river to cause rainfall in the western coast of USA. Then areas of occurrence, as I told you, this is not a unique phenomenon to the western coast of USA. It happens over extratropical northern Pacific or Atlantic region, southeastern Pacific region, South Atlantic oceans, and also in parts of Greenland, Antarctica and south central USA. In all these parts we can observe this phenomenon of atmospheric rivers causing intense rainfall. Then you can see, is this concept only there in those parts and not there in India? Means yes, we have this concept of atmospheric rivers causing rainfall in India also, right? You can see from 1985 to 2020 we have atmospheric rivers that have caused rainfall, intense rainfall in India. And interestingly, you know, 2013 Uttarakhand floods, which have created havoc in almost more than 10,000 people have lost their lives. And even in the case of 2018 Kerala floods also, scientists have observed that this atmospheric rivers only have caused that. You have remembered, we'll use the term flash floods for Uttarakhand floods, okay? So that is mainly because of this atmospheric rivers or atmospheric river which has created that havoc in 2013 Uttarakhand floods and as well as 2018 Kerala floods, okay? So in case if a question is asked in mains, then you can give these examples in Indian case, okay, to justify that these are not only a phenomenon which happens in USA, but it is a phenomenon which happens in even in Indian case also. So you can see it is a common phenomenon in Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats also, because orographic rainfall is associated there also, okay, right? Then what is the impact of this atmospheric rivers? Okay, so it causes generally flooding, landslides, okay? So in case if it happens over a mountain, you know, all the debris is moved down towards because of the gravity. So landslides are common and mudslides are also one of the feature, okay? Then it can disrupt water supply when there is a flooding, okay? So when the fresh water and the mud water gets mixed, it will disrupt the water supply and water shortages also can be there. So interestingly, the same atmospheric river system which is resulting in the source of water for California and other states, it sometimes, if there is a shortage of this atmospheric river rainfall, then it can also cause drought also, okay? So it can also cause this drought type of conditions in the, and so that agriculture also can get impacted because of this phenomenon. Then you can see what is the significance. So not all atmospheric rivers cause this particular damage. Some are positively beneficial, like you can say they are creating good water supply so that agriculture is sustained, and annual precipitation is also mainly the thing, okay, you can get from this atmospheric river. But at the same time, if you're not prepared and managed, okay, so during this particular point of year, like in the Jan and February months, if you're not prepared, because because of this there can be intense flooding that can happen. And you know, this is also contributing to Earth's water cycle by intense evaporation and precipitation. Then you know how this climate change is impacting this phenomenon of atmospheric rivers. You know, because of climate change there is more global warming that is happening. Okay, so global warming means when Earth's temperatures are rising more and more. So when there is increase in temperatures, what happen? Increased evaporation will be there. When increased evaporation is there, then it will result in more moisture content, okay, that is getting pulled up. Okay, warm air rises up and it generates water vapor. So this water vapors cool down and condense into the form of clouds. This band of clouds, again, it is resulting in atmospheric rivers. So if this is a continuous process and the intensity and frequency is increasing just because of climate change. Even before climate change and this global warming also, there is phenomenon of atmospheric rivers, but this is getting intensified and frequency is increasing just because of climate change. Okay, then what are the implications? You know, we have seen in case of flooding and water resources also, we are facing these issues. Okay, in case of excess rainfall, we are having flooding. In case if it is not active during any part of year, okay, at that point of time, we are having shortages in water supply. Then what this, you can see this is increasing in the water vapor content and heavier rainfall also, one of the main contribution of this. But it also can impact the infrastructure. When there is a flooding, there will be impact on the infrastructure. So what is the conclusion? So you can see these type of events are very helpful, both positively and negatively. Okay, so if you are using it to the good thing, that means if there is proper preparedness and management, then we can make use of those water resources which we receive from this precipitation or intense rainfall. But in case if this is a shortage or if this atmospheric river doesn't cause enough rainfall, then we have to mitigate from the drought. Okay, so these things are very important and continued research and measures are very much required. Okay, so as we have come to this end of the video, let's see yesterday's question. You have the question is, which of the following statements is not true with respect to UPSC? Okay, so you can see among the options, the option D is not the correct answer, because you can see chairperson and other members of UPSC are appointed by the Prime Minister. This is a wrong statement, okay, because they're appointed by the President of India and not by the Prime Minister. They have asked about not true. So answer is D for yesterday's question. Then time for prelims question. You can see the term Pineapple Express mentioned in news is associated with which of the following? Atmospheric phenomenon, transcontinental railway transport, agriculture product, and you can see pipeline project across European Union. So answer for this in the comment section. Then time for mains question. What are the atmospheric rivers? What is their impact on world's rainfall patterns? Discuss. Okay. So as we have come to the end of the video, what did we discuss in this video? We discussed about an interesting geophysical phenomenon, that is atmospheric river. What is its origins? How they form? And we also have come across a new term, that is Pineapple Express, and how it have derived its name from this phenomenon. And what are the implications of this atmospheric rivers for, and whether it is a global phenomenon, and is there any relation of this atmospheric rivers with respect to Indian climate? All these interesting things we have learned in this video. I think this video have helped you in your preparation. Thank you.